at the first page of our hyperbola and parabola quiz. Okay, number 1, we found that our center is 0, 0. Our vertices are 2, 0, and negative 2, 0. I found this by taking the square root of A. My co-vertices are 0, negative 3. Found this by taking the square root of B. And then using the equation C squared equals A squared plus B squared, I found, not sure why anyone's talking. I found C is 3.61, so my focus points are 3.610 and negative 3.610. And then my asymptote is y equals 3/2 x and y equals negative 3/2 x. Remember, it's B over A when it is horizontal. Okay, questions? Number 2, center is negative 1, 3. Negative 1, 3. Vertices are negative 1, 9 and negative 1, negative 3. The co-vertices are negative 4, 3 and 2, 3. Negative 4, 3 and 2, 3. Focus points are negative 1 and 9.71. Negative 1 and negative 3.71. My asymptotes are y equals 2x plus 5 and y equals negative 2x plus 1. Whose ever music is that loud? Could we turn it down, please?
You know who music is.
Number 3. Center is 0, 3. Vertices are negative 2, negative 3, and 2, negative 3. Co-vertices are 0, 1, and 0, negative 1. Negative 7, excuse me. I don't know why I said negative 1. Focus points are negative 4.47 and negative 3, and 4.47 and negative 3. One's negative, one's positive. And my asymptotes are y equals 2x minus 3 and y equals negative 2x minus 3. Is there any of those you would like me to do again, look at? Number 3? Oh, man, hold on. This is not recording for some reason. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, we're good. Number 3. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 from scratch. So especially if you haven't done this yet, you should be following along. All right, this is not set up in standard form. Are we in agreement there?
What number is this?
Number 3. We're not in standard form, so we need to get the y's together and the x's together. So we're going to go 4x squared, and then I'm going to take out a negative. And I get y squared plus 6y equals 25. Okay, now what's half of 6?
3.
3 squared is?
9.
Okay, so that's why I add 9 to both sides. That right there is called completing the square. Now this changes to 4x squared minus y plus 3 squared equals, I'm sorry, this should be minus 9 on this side, 16. Okay, I can't have 16 here, I need to have a 1 here, so I'm going to divide everything by 16. This works out well because 4 over 16 gives me 4, so I have x squared over 4 minus y plus 3 squared over 16 equals 1. Okay, now to find a and b, it's pretty easy. 4 equals a squared, so a equals 2. B squared equals 16, so b equals 4. Okay, and then c squared equals a squared plus b squared. So c squared equals 20. So the square root of that is 4.47, plus or minus. Okay? So my center is right here. These. It's going to be 0, -3. Everybody see that? Let me zoom out just a little bit. Okay? My vertices are the distance from here. So, for my vertices, it's going to be 2 plus or minus the x value. So that's 2, comma, -3, and -2, comma, -3. My co-vertices are going to be changing the y, okay? And I'm going to be changing the y by 4. So it's going to be 0, comma 1 and 0, comma -7. The focus points, I'm going to add 4.47. Please stop talking while I'm trying to teach. 4.47 to 0, so it's 4.47, comma -3, and -4.47, comma -3. Okay? Our asymptote is y equals 4/2 x minus 0 minus 3. So I'm just going to distribute this and separate it into my two equations. Y equals 2x minus 3 and y equals -2x because this is plus or minus. So I have two things that I'm going to graph now. I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do my asymptotes first. So I'm going to go for the first one up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, or down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. Okay? For the next one, I'm going to start at -3, and I'm going to go down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1, or up 2 to the left 1, up 2 to the left 1, up 2 to the left 1. And we look like this, okay? Then I'm going to graph my center, which is 0, -3 right here. My vertices are going to be 2 and -2, 2, -3, and -2, -3. My co-vertices are going to be 0, 1, and 0, -7, -3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then my focus points are both going to be 4 right here and right here. So if we look at this box right here, and then we want to go here along these. Okay. All right, so you ready for the next page? Yeah. Is that good? Okay. Number 4 is y plus 1 squared over 16. Shh. And negative x plus 9 squared over 100 equals 1. Number 5 is x minus 4 squared over 4 minus y minus 5 squared over 5 equals 1. Number 6. The vertex is 3, 2. The axis of symmetry is y equals 2. The focus points are 2, 2. And the directrix is x equals 4. Number 7. The vertex is -3, -2. Axis of symmetry is y equals -2. The focus points are -11 halves or -5 1/2 if you want to put it that way, and -2. And the directrix is x equals -1/2. On this page, is there any that you guys would like me to do by hand because you didn't get it? Which one? 4. Okay. Number 4 We are looking right here at the vertices and co-vertices, and we need to put it in standard form. Okay? Now, if we're looking, the vertices, the x doesn't change, the y does. So right there, we can decide that it's vertical, which is going to give me y minus k squared over a squared minus x minus h squared over b squared equals 1. So I know what I'm looking for, okay? Now, we want to find the center. In order to find the center, we're going to have to take either the vertices or the co-vertices and use the midpoint formula. So I'm going to go -9 plus -9 divided by 2, and 3 plus -5 divided by 2, comma, in between. This gives me a center of -9, comma, -1. So that's my center. And then the difference between -1 and -5 is 4. So I know a equals 4. So I know a squared equals 16. For b, I want -9 to -19 is 10. So I know b has to be 10. So b squared has to equal 100. Okay, and then I can just fill this in. Y plus 1, excuse me, squared over 16 minus x plus 9 squared over 100 equals 1. Is that better? Find the midpoint if we're dealing with vertices and co-vertices. Find the distance from the center then to one of the vertices. That gives you a, and then you can find a squared. Find the distance between the co-vertices and the center. That gives you b, and then you just find b squared. Better? For those of you who are listening. Okay. If there's no other questions about that, we're going to move to 8. 8. Your vertices are 3, -2. Axis of symmetry of x equals 3. Focus point of 3 and 2.5. Directrix of y equals -13/2 or y equals -6.5. Number 9, the equation is y plus 6 squared equals -20 times x minus 2. Number 10, it's y squared equals 10x. So these are the answers. Number 11 is x plus 1 squared equals 28 times 1 plus y plus 1. And number 12, x minus 7 squared equals 4 times y plus 3. Is there any of those that you guys would like me to do from beginning to end? 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12? None?
You can go 8.
Sure. Number 8. I find the graphing the hardest. It's still on the early release schedule. Somebody forgot to switch it. Okay. So we're looking right here at the equation. First of all, I have to have it in standard form to be able to do it. So I've got x squared minus 6x. And then I'm going to move everything to the other side. We've got 18y plus 27. We had to add them to move them to the other side, correct? Now we have to do that weird completing the square thing. Does anybody remember how to do this besides me?
No.
Half of this, that's right, I heard it. So half of -6 is 3. 3 squared is 9. So we're going to go 9 and add 9. Then this factored out is x minus 3 squared equals 18y plus 36. So let's talk about that completing the square part one more time. You take half of the number that doesn't have a square next to it, an x squared next to it, and you square it. You complete the square. Take half of it, square it, and then add that to both sides. If you don't, if this is not in this format, yes. If it's funky like that, you do that every time. Yep. Okay, so we get x squared minus 3, x minus 3 squared times 18 plus 36. What does 18 and 36 both have in common? What's the biggest number that goes into both of them? Bigger than 9. Bigger than 12. Bigger than 16. 18. Always try the number, the smaller number. We get y plus 2. I appreciate you trying, though. Okay, so right there, this is in standard form. Shh. We know 18 equals 4y. We divide both sides by 4. We get 9/2 equals y. That is what p is equal to, right there. Okay? We know it's vertical because it's set up like this, which means it's going to look like this, up or down. Okay? My vertex is the opposite of these, so that's 3, -2. My axis of symmetry, if it's vertical, is the x value, so it's x equals 3. Okay? My focus point, okay? Your focus point is 9/2 away from 3, from -2. That ends up giving us 5/2. The directrix is the opposite. That's harder to do. Shh. So I'm going to go over 3 down 2. My axis of symmetry is right here at 3. That's my axis of symmetry. My focus point is right here at 3, and 5/2, that's the same as 2.5. So I'm going to go over 3, up 1, 2.5. Now to find my directrix, I know it's the same distance. So if I'm looking, I wish I had another color. Okay, it's the same distance from here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4.5 away. So we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4.5. There's my directrix. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. Okay? And then my equation goes like this. And that's it. There's my parabola. Questions, comments, concerns? Okay, if you have other problems you would like to go over, you can let me know, but I am stopping this recording.